Nick, the bad things are happening in the Sonic X screen caps. Now,
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
bad things are happening.
the troubled times are here.
I'm not okay.
It's really cool when the Joy-Cons just disconnect for fun. Really cool little like feature they added to the Switch.
Yeah, it's real neat.
To keep you on your toes.
Always.
Makes you forget about the drift.
I love how they like kept it in the Switch OLED. I was really worried that they were gonna take it away. Are we like going now?
Yeah, we're going now.
Okay. First of all, before we actually start, Nick, I just want to say congratulations. Our poll ended a few days ago. The question was, Nick has been sick lately. What are your thoughts? And it came down 50-50 exactly. 3 people said, get better soon, Nick. The other 3 said, Merry Sickmas.
Well, thank you for your input.
Yes.
I did have a Merry Sickmas. And I also got better soon. So, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
However, I would like to say that no one wished for you to stay hydrated.
I think that's a given.
No one
No,
wanted you to be hydrated.
I think no one wanted you to be hydrated.
Oh, and no one thought you were faking it.
Okay, well, that's good, because I would have killed them.
Anyway, we're gonna find out who our lover's killer is tonight, I guess.
I'm trying to remember the fucking voice I did for the detective.
Anyway, I wish we hadn't been thrown out like that.
I wish we'd managed to find some clues as to what that speckled band might be.
We didn't manage to investigate at all. I think we managed to investigate a little bit. And I imagine that we won't be able to for a while longer. We'll never get past this man until he gets a longer shirt.
I like his midriff. It's stylish.
It is a stylish.
It's very JoJo-esque.
It is.
He's glaring. He's clearly glaring at us as if to say, don't even think about it.
Don't think about it.
Oh, wait a minute.
What is it?
Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where did he go?
Oh, yes. He's completely disappeared.
When did he do that? He slipped away as quietly as the wind, but not before ensuring these were securely back on my wrists.
He just... I gotta know. Jeez.
The cheese?
Please, please. I really wish we'd had a chance to look around in Miss Pavlova's cabin.
No, I don't want to...
What?
I was answering his question. He asked if I wanted anything. I said no.
To throw me out again.
Oh, no, definitely not that. Next time I throw you out, I show you where lobsters spend winter, understand? Understand. Maybe I should steer clear of him until he's forgotten my face.
I don't think he'll ever forget your face, Naruto-san. Who could forget your face?
I've investigated thoroughly, blah 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 blah. This line's not important.
Wow. So... Oh, I see.
The book at the top of the table there really is huge. There's a pen with it, too. Shall we have a little look through it?
The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been... Oh, yeah, I remember talking about this.
You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting.
Anyway, look here. There's, like, nothing from last night. What's up with that?
Presumably that means there was nothing to report.
Presumably.
It's locked. I can't open it.
Well, that sucks.
Fuck
No
you.
one wants to let the murderer escape. Also, we are
George.
joined by Joey, who's being such a good boy and just chilling on the table.
Hello, Joey. I love you.
Greetings, Joseph.
Oh,
We haven't visited this place in a while, huh?
it's been a while.
It looks like they're still investigating in here.
Yes, on that subject. I wonder if Inspector Hostanaga is unscathed.
What do you mean, unscathed?
I mean, unscathed. You haven't forgotten, right? Don't you remember what he said about allowing you out of this cabin? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he'd lay his life on the line for you.
Cute.
Oh, yeah! But I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He might have some new information for us. You never know.
Where he at, though?
Are you able to move to the captain's place now? Is that a thing?
Oh.
I don't think so.
He showed up last time when I talked to this fella.
Ah, you're right.
Oh, sorry, I just went to the next door cabin to investigate.
Who gave you permission for this?
Oh, well, Seaman Hostanaga did. Seaman.
That new Japanese, was it? Later I will roll him into ball and throw him in cold room.
He's gone back to guarding the door.
I hope Inspector Hostanaga doesn't find himself in too much trouble on our account.
He's really gone out of his way to help, hasn't he? When we get back to Japan, we'll have to take him out for a big steak at Le Carnaval.
That could be a very long time from now, you know?
Give me the sword.
Give me my boyfriend's sword.
Give me the damn sword.
Yoink.
Oh! We're sitting here talking about him. He's just awkwardly in the corner of the room.
It's like,
Like,
hey.
are you gonna look over here or
Hey.
what? Oh,
Oh.
my god!
Ah, you're back.
Oh no.
Inspector.
What happened to you? Your face!
Please, don't worry about it. It's just scratches.
I have one more.
Made by a bear, maybe. When I told the captain I'd given you the permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fists and then throw me overboard. Huh? The pummeling was over in a flash, and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. That was nothing, really. Looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to.
Well, thanks to your efforts, we now know a little about the neighboring cabin.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh?
I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Herlock Schomes. I don't think he was German, though. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare notes, then? You can tell you what we found out. Yeah, let's do it. What? Nikolina Pavlova? She's in the cabin next door. Oh, do you know who she is? Eve, a self-respecting ballet fan, wizard of that graceful angel. Yeah.
He definitely seems one who has a passion for the art.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I think so, too. Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is unrelated to the case, at least.
Nani?
Huh? How? Because angels don't go around committing crimes. Oops, now I've definitely upset him.
Inspector, has your investigation here proved fruitful?
If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed, ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. I'm just watching. Try not to take my eyes off the job.
Oh, I see.
there is one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you.
Oh, what?
Yes, do tell us, Inspector, please.
What is this new information you have, Inspector? This. The Burial's medical officer has finished the examination of the body and managed to obtain the report.
Oh.
Oh? Cosmo's post-mortem report?
Too hot disease.
Cosmos-sama.
So what was the cause of death?
Murder.
Damage to the cervical vertebrae is what's written in the report.
His neck was broken?
Yeah, it would seem so. There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury. Though at first I think they were considering poison. But it turns out they found no trace of poison in his system at all. Well, what weapon was used then? Nothing has been found as yet. The fact there are no signs of a wound suggested it may have been a blunt object. Something that wouldn't leave a mark. Oh, I see.
All the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck could induce death. It is a possibility, and no obvious wound would be left.
Poor Cosmo. Poor Cosmo. There's a second copy here. It might be useful. You're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yeah, it's fine. I trust you.
Oh!
After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd definitely never agreed to leave in the cabin in the first place, now would I? Ah.
A great detective. Mr. Schomes was here, was he?
Yeah. Seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept about on the floor investigating.
Sniffing like a puppy.
But then he suddenly left. I suppose he must have become bored. Did he say anything at all? Actually, now that you mention it, yeah. Just one thing, but he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish, was all he said. Shoe polish? I wonder what he meant. It was when he was over there by the piece of broken glass. Do you see?
Ah, perhaps he was talking about the brick-colored mark, do you think?
Ah, yeah, that must be it. How can Mr. Schomes know that it's shoe polish? That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea. What is it? What is it, Susato-san? Yeah.
Well...
Yeah, she did.
Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue.
Dark tan? Sort of dark brownish red then?
Don't you know this? Did you not look at your boyfriend's shoe? A little like the color of red wine, but darker. I often repaired them for... Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Oh, does that mean this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoes they scuffed the floor? That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I should return to my post. My fellow crewmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yeah, that might be for the best. Thank you.
Poor Inspector, you look exhausted.
Oh, nah. Well, I feel terrible that I failed to protect Asogi-san. It was my responsibility. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friends. Truth is, I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I woke this morning. Heavy head? That's interesting. Still throbbing too.
Aw,
Well, this is fun.
it's fun. What's out here?
What's going on?
Is my inspector pal out here?
We got a loading screen. Ah. Look! Seaman Stroganoff is gone.
Strong enough?
The burly Russian sailor who's always crossing his arms and glaring at us.
Ugh, all these Russian names are impossible to remember.
Yikes. La la la.
Did you hear that? Sounded like someone singing.
Tra la la, leery la lay. It did it. Great detective way. This caroling. I know that lark lake voice.
Well, never mind that now. This is a golden opportunity for us.
Yes, you're right. We must seize it. Let's get inside Miss Pavlov's cabin while we can and investigate.
Definitely. Before that stringy knot crewman comes back.
It's stroganoff, not stringy knot. Sorry, y'all. I'm drinking a soda.
Monster Energy.
So sometimes I can't speak immediately.
Unacceptable.
I know.
I shall now do the same thing. Oh no. Snake's out.
What are you talking about? Oh no!
Pavlova isn't back yet. Sato-san. Oh, where's she gone?
What?
Hey, what are you doing? Those are her private things.
I'm looking through her private thing. Let's investigate as quickly as we can.
I suppose you're right. For Kazuma's sake.
Not just for Kazuma-sama.
What do you mean?
It can't be long now until we arrive at port in Hong Kong. I don't want you to be in those handcuffs when we get there.
Aw.
Really?
We must solve this case, Naruhoto-san. By ourselves if we have to.
Yes, we will.
What's in the... Oh. There we
What's in the bag? Are you there?
Sorry? I'm right here, yeah. Why?
Oh, good. I thought you might have climbed in that wardrobe when I wasn't looking. There's no place like home!
go.
I don't have the strange compulsion to jump in every wardrobe I see, you know.
Well, anyway, I'm not sure anyone can fit inside this one. It's full of beautiful outfits. I suppose they're all stage costumes.
I was rather hoping we might find Miss Pavlov's friend hiding in there, but no luck.
There's nothing suspicious about this bag, eh?
Don't be suspicious.
All the books have toppled over together, look. Every single one.
Do you think that's the god of the sea, perhaps? It's toppled too, though.
Exactly the same as the bookcase next door. In Kazuma's cabin.
Perhaps. Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase.
I don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company?
Alright then. It must have been you. You lost your temper, knocked them all over in a fit of rage.
Not everything bad happens on this ship is because of me, you know.
Well, anyway, I'll set them all straight again in here too. I don't like seeing things in disarray. Let's ruin the crime scene. This isn't the crime scene. Next door is the crime scene.
Perfectly ruined.
But still.
No pets.
Ah yes, displayed the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or dangerous objects. Pets are forbidden.
I suppose Miss Pavlova realizes that she needed to keep the contents of her case a secret after she read this. Her special friend, I mean.
I wonder where her friend has disappeared to now. Probably having fun exploring the ship, I imagine.
I just hope Seaman Stroganoff doesn't find it and throw it overboard.
Oh yeah, so do I. Indeed. There are just a few books on the desk, nothing else by the looks of it.
Well, Miss Pavlova only ran away from the ballet last night. She's hardly occupied the cabin for any time at all.
That's true. I wonder what kind of books she likes to read.
Let me see. Yes, I see. It would seem that Miss Pavlova enjoys reading.
Murder for Dummies.
How to get away with crime for idiots.
Books written in Russian. I
Yes.
can't read these at all.
Hey, Oscar. Thanks. I think O probably already knew that.
Hey, Oscar.
Hello, Oscar.
It's rude to ask too much of people, Naruhodo said. Kindly remember that.
Little dish.
I wonder what this little saucer is doing on the floor.
Yes, it doesn't look like it's been dropped. More like it was put there deliberately.
Do you think there could be a leak in the roof just above here?
What? A leak?
Is this ship quite safe?
I'm sure that even if there's a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship is gonna sink.
No, you're right. Of course you're right.
Ask your Breath of the Wild question, Oscar. She's really trying to persuade herself, isn't she?
It would seem this teapot is empty.
So the natural conclusion is the Russians are a very thirsty people.
Yes.
Or Miss Pavlova only came in the cabin last night. She hasn't had a chance to make any tea yet. I mean, it could be either.
Dot, dot. Are you asking if we're going to play Breath of the Wild on stream or if we have already? Because we've all already played it, like, not on stream. It's definitely that they're excessively thirsty. I'd lay 1,000 to 1 on it. Both. I don't know. Maybe once Breath of the Wild 2 gets like a confirmed date, we might play the first game on stream.
Do like a challenge run of it or some kind.
Yeah. I'm gonna say probably, but not definitely.
Maybe that's a good opportunity for you to finish getting all the Korok seeds.
God. Yep.
Yeah.
I do have like 200 Korok seeds left. You're rather obstinate, aren't you?
What else is in the room?
What else is in the room?
There's one other thing you haven't looked at yet.
Oh. The most important
Oh,
thing.
maybe two things.
Or Miss Pavlova's case is open.
It's completely empty inside, but according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in there.
Yes, a friend that she had to keep secret.
Because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard the Buria. I wonder what kind of animal she had in there. More to the point, where is it now?
I think that'd be fun to see these two fiddle around with.
Oscar is saying, we, like, divide up controller.
Wait, so like you have like the left Joy-Con and I have the right?
Something like
oh
that.
my god.
We could try it out.
I've seen that done used for Katamari, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen it for any other game.
The cabin door is a simple sort of bolted latch that our cabin. If the bolt's drawn across, there's no way anybody could enter the cabin from outside.
Yes, it's not particularly heavy-duty bolt, is it? But still, it wouldn't slide across of its own accord, would it?
No, and the door is made of metal, so there's no chance of trickery using magnets to unbolt it from the outside.
And it seals up perfectly, too, to stop any seawater from coming in. So you couldn't use the method you told me of passing a thread through the crack around the closed door, either.
I seem to know a lot of tricks for opening doors, and I'm starting to see why they suspect me. Yeah, this game is like 100 years before the other ones. It's like in the 1900s. It's not really related to the plot, though. There's one of these next to Cosmo's too.
Yes, it's a bell cord. I can't resist.
Yoink. She barely hesitated there, and she gave it a good tug, too.
Uh-huh.
Hee hee. No, I didn't actually expect anyone to come.
Well, we don't want them to. We're trying to investigate in secret. This ventilator connects to Cosmo's cabin next door.
Yes, although what a fool a shipbuilder must be to open a ventilator into another room.
Ah, maybe. It's so that if there's a gas leak next door, the occupant of this cabin would notice and raise the alarm.
Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning.
That is a possibility. Anyway, last night, Cosmo wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of the ventilator.
Get the fuck back in the hallway.
Oh, the fuck?
Wait. One more. We have
One more. I suppose every cabin has a waste paper basket.
Shall we have a little look and see what's been thrown away?
Naruhodo-san.
It's
It's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know.
those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now.
Trash!
However, these are special circumstances, I think.
Exactly, we have no choice. Trash. There's hardly anything in here at all.
Oh, well, that's a little disappointing.
Right now, I think that is like legitimately fucking everything in this room.
I think you're right.
Is Biff around? Is he gonna biff the shit out of me?
Just look around.
In here?
Yeah.
Biff around? Ooh!
There he is. I can't remember his fucking voice to save my life.
Oh, it's Mr. Schomes. Look!
Wow, you never know where he's gonna turn up next, do ya?
He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself.
You were like, "Yes, my voice."
I did the great detective way.
He's still singing. Do you think he hasn't noticed us?
Or he's simply in extremely high spirits.
Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew. That's not it. When the yard bit off more than it could chew. And through it all, when there was doubt, this lucky hairlock was about.
Excuse me.
I solved it all and I stood tall. I did it the great detective way.
Mr. Schomes!
What is it, you want to fight? Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing, I was just about to reach the climactic finish.
Sorry, I thought you were never going to stop, so I figured now is as good a time as any.
I nearly dropped you to the floor like one of my famous right hooks.
Alright, I get the picture. Now could you put those fists away?
Mr. Schomes, would you finish that song for us, please? I mean, would you... You seem to be examining something before we interrupted you.
Ah, yes, that. I was immersed in a study of the ship's log as penned by the stuckily built crewman who's usually on guard here.
Oh yes, the ship's log.
And did you find out anything useful from it?
Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank.
Which means that there was nothing to report. Nothing of note happened, so...
You truly are a student for the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it. Ah, ha, ha.
Sorry?
Your logic, my boy, is inverted.
Get your finger out of my face. What do you mean?
Pull my finger. Observe the other pages, and all shall become clear. It would seem the same crewman oft stands sentry in this first-class passageway. He has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour.
Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes?
Nothing to report?
Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes and nothing to report when there's just that. And yet...
The ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report.
Do you mean...
Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night which led to the seaman being absent from his post.
What kind of circumstances? What happened?
That remains a mystery for now, but we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his regular habit of scribing nothing to report in the log. These are important details. I would stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental file.
My mental file.
Here it is. He summoned it.
The Mind Palace.
How did he know?
Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective.
You're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Schomes brilliance. Ooh, ouch.
What is it? Are you hurt?
Don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason, nothing more. Well, my friends, until our next encounter.
He's still singing to himself. I hear it as he wanders off down the passage. Is something wrong, Susato-san? You seem lost in thought.
All alone.
Good reference. Good reference. It's just, well, I feel the same.
Sorry?
Ever since I woke this morning, I've had something of a headache. A sort of continuous throbbing.
You too?
Back to my cabin. Back to the wardrobe I go. Unless... Can I?
Did you get the ink and scuff on the floor?
Pretty sure I did.
I can't just present that to you. What do you mean? Words.
It's clear that these letters were written with the ink that was spilt on the floor. And they spell the Russian word for wardrobe.
It does seem to be an unambiguous pointer to you, Naruhodo-san, as you were sleeping there.
But to be truly unambiguous, it would have just spelled out my name, don't you think?
Well, either way, one fact remains. You are in handcuffs. It's hard to imagine that Kazuma-sama would have written his last words or word in Russian.
Begs the question of who did write it. So this ventilator joins to Miss Pavlova's cabin.
Yes, that's right.
Just a few minutes before he died, Kazuma saw something emerging from it. The speckled band, as he described it.
If only Miss Pavlova had been able to shed some light on it, but she seemed as baffled as we are.
Yeah. I wonder if she's telling us everything, though.
I'm not sure.
I know most people aboard would say the same about me, but... there's something about that woman that didn't sit right with me.
Was it that she disguised herself as a man?
Maybe.
Was it that she ran away from her ballet company?
Maybe.
She bears a striking resemblance to villain Bolshevik. Where is Kazuma? This is where Kazuma spent his final moments writing this
Where
diary.
is Kazuma? 1:23 a.m. I could hear a faint whistling sound. 135. What looks like some sort of a speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
Looking at his writing here on this page, it's almost impossible to believe that he's gone.
Kazuma-sama left us a valuable clue in these words, I'm sure of it. We have to solve this mystery.
We will!
It really is such a beautiful color, this glass.
It looks like whatever it was has broken clean in two, but the other half is nowhere to be seen.
And then there's this brick-colored mark.
Which is shoe polish, according to the great detective you seem to know all about.
I suppose it must be from Kazuma-sama's shoes.
Maybe. But what I'd like to know is, how can the detective be so sure that shoe polish and not something else?
Because he's a great detective. Duh.
That's hardly a reason, is it?
It's because he has his little fart gun, and then he farts on the shoe polish, and then it goes to the shoe polish.
I shit on your evidence. Can these games be speedrun? Like, I guess technically, but I don't know if anyone wants to.
Yeah, technically.
You still have to, like, investigate everything and check all the marks, even if you know, like, who did what.
Yeah. You have to, like, check things off the checklist. By bringing her pet on board, Miss Pavlova has broken the rule.
It's official. She's rude. She's a rule breaker.
Wow.
Lock her up, boys. We got her.
Yeah, although we don't know what form this friend takes as of yet.
It's a fucking snake!
It's a snake. I'm almost certain that whatever it is, it's a snake.
Friend. There's more to this than it seems, I think.
Emotional support snake.
All the books are provided for passengers in the cabin, neatly arranged. Ah, yes, and you tidied them up, didn't you?
You have to look after the ship's property. Unruly behavior in the cabins leads to damage.
But it really wasn't me who knocked them over.
Well, anyway, I feel much better now that they're neatly lined up. I can't relax when things are untidy. Damn, I wish I could be like that. I wish I could just be like,
Oh,
I don't like this mess. Let's clean it up.
we'll get there one day.
Oh, I hope so.
I have spurts of that. Oh, I didn't actually click on this. But it only hits me at like 2 or 3 in the fucking morning.
that is when it usually kicks in, unfortunately. Like, oh, I can, like, suddenly think of all the things I need to do and conjure up the motivation to do them. Wait, I need to sleep.
That's why I've been taking out the fucking trash so late, because I'll, like, I'll come back in here for the night, and I'll be like, okay, cool, I'll take that out in the morning, and I'm like, I'm thinking about it now, I know I'm gonna wake up and not gonna want to fucking take that out.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing, though.
Yeah.
I think you're done in here.
I'm very thankful. There is this meme on Twitter that I could not relate to, and I'm happy I couldn't. But it was just, you know, me at 3 a.m. and the picture was a SpongeBob character looking out of bed saying, "Where's my birth certificate?"
Oh.
What's that? Drop down the engine immediately. Vessel sighted a quarter mile forward. Full stop, hard starboard. All hands brace for impact.
What?
What the?
I think we're about to crash into another ship.
What?
Oh, I can't stand.
Hold me!
We're holding hands.
Susato, are you alright? Are you injured at all?
I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruhodo-san.
It looks like we avoided a collision.
I think...
Yeah, the ship came to a stop.
Oh my goodness, what about you? Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine.
Hello, is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance.
Oh, that sounds like...
Inspector Hostanaga.
Hey, you in there now, Haru-san. Unbolt the door, quickly.
What? The bolt?
Look at that.
The door is bolted.
Do you do that, Susato-san?
Oh.
Nope, I didn't touch it.
So if the ship had a little oopsie last night, the door could have unbolted itself.
Mm. Well, that's strange. Added... And the books? They're just like they were before again.
Naruhodo-san, aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in? I need to rearrange these books.
I better tidy this place up first.
No!
Our violent emergency stop had solved one mystery at least, in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant.
Uh-oh.
I hurried around, tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart.
Joey, you good?
He's feeling a foreboding.
To be continued.
It will be continued now.
At this moment.
Save on slot 4.
Why slot 4?
Because it's for sure mine. Oh.
Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Hisato-san took a deep breath and gently slid back the bolt.
And what came in will surprise you now. Oh no.
Oh boy.
You, what are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters?
You both look unhurt. Good.
Yeah, we're fine. Thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship?
Yeah, it appears to have been a false report, though.
Oh, how did that happen?
There's dense fog outside. It's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought we saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop.
Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew is running everywhere.
This first-class area is only a quiet part of the ship at the moment.
Oh, I see.
Someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean... Did someone press that button outside?
You wicked intruder dressed all in black, you are the devil!
Me? Sorry? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first.
She pretty.
Pretty.
Pretty. You opened my traveling case. How could you?
What? No, we didn't touch it.
That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector!
Yeah?
Arrest this man. I know he did it. He is a criminal. It is not enough that he's killed a man.
And he is stowaway as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe? Ugh.
Take him away. He's a trespasser as well as everything else.
Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right, you are a devil. It doesn't look good, does it? There is cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police. Wait, cell?
Why does he have like a weird like...
On his face?
His tan line is very weird on his face.
Your question will be answered in due time.
Oh.
Is he the actual prisoner and he fell asleep or some shit? I don't know. Please, Inspector Hostanaga, is there nothing you can do?
This is a Russian vessel. I have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options.
This is terrible.
A real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately.
Right now.
Please hear me out.
Miss Pavlova, can I...
Mm-mm.
Listen, I'm sorry that we snuck in here without your permission, but
Get out now.
we just needed to investigate in here to help understand what happened to... What? It's no use. She's not going to listen. I need to find someone who will.
You'll listen to me.
Please, just give me a little more time. I do nothing for you. Except show you way to a ship's prison cell. Thanks, but no thanks. But I'm innocent, I didn't kill anyone. Trespassing and stowing away? Well, you know, sometimes life can lead you down some unusual avenues, and well...
That isn't a tan line from a snake being coiled around him, is it?
Snake line? It's ridiculous. That's silly. Enough, you're guilty. Ship cell is the only place fit for you.
Oh, I get it. He's the striped band. It was him!
He was dangling from the ventilator.
He slipped through the ventilator and killed our friend.
Some JoJo shit.
There has to be someone, some savior to rescue me from this crisis.
Inspector Hostanaga.
You got yourself into a real pickle here. By entering this cabin uninvited, I mean.
Sorry, I was just so desperate to find a clue.
I'm afraid there's nothing really more I can do to help you.
Hello, Denzel.
Oh, I think Chloe's in the way,
If I
too.
push my luck any further, a punch to the face would be the least of my worries.
I'm really sorry.
I have to take responsibility for giving you the freedom to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin. Now that this has happened, I'll have to report to the captain at once.
I really need some help here. I need a savior to rescue me from this crisis.
Who's on the left side of the room?
No fucking way.
Not gonna hold a lot of weight.
Whoa.
What the? What are you doing up there? Mr.
Oh!
Like,
Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no, no.
Well, why were you hanging from that hook before then?
Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the wall, so full of brag and bounce.
I never know whether to take this man seriously or not.
you again. That great detective.
Ah, Inspector, I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently.
Oh, might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time.
What is to report? Speak.
An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes. The case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Buria, has been solved by me, naturally.
What?
Really?
Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case.
Huh? You have solved it? Even Hedgehog understands this case. We all know who was responsible for killing Student Boy this morning when he found criminal in wardrobe. It is his sword, and he has handcuffs to prove it. I didn't do it.
Well, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because everyone knows the cabin door is bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who is inside the cabin.
Yes, this was called a locked room mystery and detective story.
Ah, locked room, that is point.
room was locked.
Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin.
Unless... You're all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all.
What?
Oh yes, there is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. Alright.
Mr. Naruhodo, your Joy-Cons are fucking around.
Press L and R on the controller.
The battery's not like even low, are they?
No. It does this a lot more when we're streaming for some reason. Is it the right one specifically?
Yeah, the right one isn't syncing up as much now.
Here, let me...
You got it?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
What other entrance? We never discovered one.
Why, it gapes open-mouthed as we speak. The vent, man! He vented! Sussy! You know the drill!
The vent?
Ha 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 ha! You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks.
You suggested the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through the tiny opening. It's not possible.
Ah, but it is! And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the vent.
Mr. Schomes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words he wrote in his diary? He can hear the faint whistling sound, and then he can see the speckled band was dangling from the vent.
Precisely, my dear madam.
But what does it mean? What is this speckled band?
The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin.
Mr. Schomes, what are you doing?
There's a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your
I feel like I'm
cores.
gonna be shocked.
Behold! Yeah! Oh. Allow me to introduce you all to the band, the Speckled Band.
I knew it!
This is horrifying.
A snake?
Indubitably.
Mr. Schomes? Just one thing.
Pray, what troubles you?
Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say?
Hmm?
Yes, you're right. I think in this case you'd have to call it... the striped band, wouldn't you?
You both see and observe with distinction, however. Do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall?
Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap?
How exactly?
I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova?
I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me.
There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one. Last night your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life.
turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Holmes must be right. He's hit the nail on the head.
This young woman's friend killed Mr. Sogi?
Whoa.
It looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head.
Why is it coiled around his head? Someone help this man!
I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So, everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Schomes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Siri, play Rick and Morty.
We both looked over our heads.
Specifically went out of my way to say a different thing.
Which AI is not in the room right now?
Oh, it's horrifying.
Alright, I just want to say, like, I'm looking forward to this. I don't know how he could have gotten this wrong. No.
So, the only thing I can think of is they died to blunt force to the neck, and I don't see the snake doing that.
I can see the neck being broken, but I don't know what the blunt force is.
Yeah.
It's a little wacky.
Oh wait, have we actually, like... Is it possible for us to actually read the post-mortem report, or the couple...
Yeah, from the court record.
Oh, shit.
Do you want... I wasn't sure if it was, like, just, like, the two...
Read the autopsy report before it gets updated.
Breath between one past two.
Instant death!
Instant death, yeah. A strong blow to the area, no obvious external injuries or traces of poison.
Okay, cool.
You claim the following. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me.
That is what I said.
Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. It is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So, we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? As I suspected, another telltale glance.
Stop!
Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary.
Oh!
The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled man. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. Two snakes. What explanation can we give then, pray? What was the slight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does! You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that's what you are trying, but failing to conceal can only be the snake's sluged skin. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin, no?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side of the bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it slogs its skin. A snake is so dreadful, we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just the right one that will,
Do you want to switch spots with me?
Yeah, sure.
I'm also going to let Joey out of the room. Joey, would you like to leave the room? The answer is yes.
The answer might shock you.
I can't believe
all
it's
even
not.
swapped their drinks.
Boy fit.
I'll start on my.
Oh, I
drink
didn't
here.
even notice that Navi was on the beanbag chair.
Oh, she's been loving that spot.
Yeah. And now she's gonna come over here. Yes, you are.
Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. Whoa. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury.
Ah. Oh, hold up, Zach. This is actually kind of hard to open. Do you think you could?
Yeah, I got you.
There you go. There's your can opening ASMR.
There we go. Crack a cold one open with the boys.
In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. What? What am I talking about? We take that as a fact. That I'm lying out my ass. We can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Could there be?
Would there be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost, but not quite, imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend.
This makes no sense.
There's no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in this traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt. It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you would use to train your serpent friend?
To train?
Indeed, you'd put the serpent through the ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. You deny the snake has undergone such training?
It's not true.
Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fang in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt. My logic is infallible. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled band.
Great job.
A great deduction by a great detective indeed.
Very much so.
It leaves us speechless.
Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor, you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature.
Incredible. You've solved the mystery.
Amazing. Your great deduction really lives up to it. Now I see why Sherlock Sholmes has become such a household name.
My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand.
venture an opinion, Mr. Schomes.
But of course, what's on your mind?
Yeah, Oscar, we're gonna find out why this man isn't totally correct.
In a second.
It's just about your deductions before, some things don't quite make sense to me.
I welcome questions as to my method and will answer both loudly and proudly.
Oh, well, good. First of all,
You're wrong.
I took notes on your great deductions. Snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family.
You are well informed, madam.
And reptiles, don't drink milk.
Ah.
It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it'd be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward.
No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds.
Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears.
Ah,
Wait, is that true? Do snakes not have ears?
They have little holes.
Okay. I was about to ask if there were holes.
Oh.
Yes, so I'm not really sure it'd be possible to signal to a snake by whistling.
but madam, what are the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute?
I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements.
Oh, I see. But no hands, no feet, no ears? These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless.
Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Schultz.
There is one other thing.
You have more?
Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake can manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins.
Then it should try.
Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Schomes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snakes could have been part of this.
He just unlocked the door. But not really. But maybe.
I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, no, you don't mean...
Yes, we need to modify Mr. Schomes' latest deductions and turn them into great ones they ought to be.
I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try.
Alright, they're gonna do the dance! They're gonna dance again!
Yo. Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yeah, right.
So, cast your eyes down to your wrist again.
What?
What?
You've done it again!
Yep, yo, so like, I just missed a call from my uncle. This uncle does not call me often, but when he does, it's in the, not dead of night, but it's at nighttime, like right when I'm supposed to go to sleep.
Oh my god.
This is like a pattern.
The one other time it's happened, yeah.
My handcuffs are on.
Where did they go?
Where did they go?
The one that called me about wanting to talk to you last time.
Oh.
Because Nick is now the tech guy of
I
the
fixed the
family.
Wi-Fi.
I'm so sorry. It is a burden I never want anyone I know
I've
to
had
bear.
phones mailed to me now.
Yup. Old ass phone.
Oh my god. Fear not, I shall see they're restored after our work is done.
I really wish you'd leave them off.
Now, everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Schomes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular.
From the top.
Siri, play VeggieTales.
Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Schomes.
Oh, you claim the following.
I had nothing to do with it.
My aching heart.
No, I can't.
She does have a pained expression on her face.
Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma-sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind.
But you're not sure Mr. Schomes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be another way to interpret her expression then?
Let's look real close.
Yeah, the gimmick is Schomes is like really like bad at like coming to the right conclusion, but he kind of gets the general drive of it and you have to like fix his shit.
Hey, we hit 900 views. Let's go.
Nice. But if you look closely, it's almost like she's actually staring at something. Something physically causing her pain? We should have a closer look. She really does look troubled. You can move the camera.
Okay.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Well, it looks like what she's like.
Is it her head?
Other side.
Oh.
Keep. Yeah.
One of her earrings is gone. She has such small ears under that beautiful hair, like little pink shells.
Oh, what's that? There's something dangling from her ear.
Ah, that's an earring. Crescent moon part looks as though it's made from wood. It's charming, isn't it?
Women do seem to love adornments like that. In their hair, around their neck, on their fingers, even hanging from their ears.
All jewelry is beautiful.
You're almost there. A little bit more.
Oh. Well, shit.
Oh, look! That looks like a very painful wound.
It looks like a scratch made by a kind of small animal.
She's just standing there and these two are just like walking in circles
Yeah,
around
it's like,
her.
Fairly recently, too.
Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around here.
Yes, when you recall those horrid events, the claw scratch smarts with pain.
Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh.
Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch sometime last night?
When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse.
It is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So, we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that pretentious night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? As I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. No, you had two little fuzzy wuzzies.
It seems the scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except, snakes don't have claws, do they?
Meow.
Snake-like
they
beings.
They don't even have hands or feet which claws might grow.
Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers?
We should follow her gaze, friend. That's where we'll find the answer.
Friend-san.
Yes, honey. Are you the friend? Hey, honey. Y'all, look at this cat. Look at this cat.
Look at this cat.
No, I mean, look at this cat. Right
Look
on.
at
Look at the photograph.
Every time I see it, it makes me laugh.
Oh.
Okay.
Miss Pavlova brought him through and she ran away. She's very pretty.
She is.
Yes, that's true, but personally, it's the little black creature she's holding that caught my eye. Maybe we better take a closer look at this.
Little kitten.
Look at the little cat Miss Pavlova is cuddling.
Oh, what a cute little kitten. If I could vie with you, couldn't it, Naruhodo-san, for the blackest outfit?
A black kitten. And from the look of this picture, at least Miss Pavlova seems very attached to it.
Yo, the snake eater cat.
Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us.
Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear.
Oh no.
The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Hold on.
He demands to be let in. Darka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind.
Darker would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, the fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give? Pray, what was the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's slow skin. Slow sleep.
Did you see that?
She
She
just
took
from
something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back.
If she just left it in her pocket, no one would have ever known.
Oh yes, ploys like that are Mr. Schomes' specialty. He's ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something.
I thought deduction was a specialty. Maybe making believe that was a ploy too.
Anyway, I find it hard to believe that this is the skin of the snake.
In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding
Oh
behind
my
her back?
fucking god. Uh,
Aww. Aww.
huh?
What is that? A bone?
Well, it is speckled, and it is a band, but what is it? It seems to be soft and fluffy, a long piece of cloth of some sort. And it looks like a handle at one end.
Oh.
I think it may be a cat's toy. This sort is common in the West, apparently.
How is that a toy for cats?
Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them and they pounce to catch it.
Haha, that sounds positively adorable.
It is.
We love to see.
Yo, I thought that was the cat's tail.
Oh no.
Yes, the thing you were trying but failing to conceal is, a cat toy.
Precisely in the true nature of the now infamous speckled band. And it was this toy that you dangled throughout the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume? Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it.
But why? For what reason?
My dear boy, there can only be one answer to that. The cat fucking broke his neck. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return.
Ah,
In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka.
Ah!
A truly troublesome feline young Darkra is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova.
I guess I will.
Haha.
It was after I gave her her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand, and then ran up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. Darka, she is so naughty.
Kitty.
Meow.
Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there are no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom, but I'm fucking wrong.
What Mr. Schomes says is true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere on his body.
That's right. But Mr. Schomes seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Cosmo wasn't poisoned.
Yes, it would seem so. Let's give him the information he's missing now.
In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report.
Oh yes, I knew it was one or the other.
His neck was...
Indeed, the breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that.
Oh
or
my
also do it.
god!
Seaman Stroganoff isn't some immortal freak, you know.
The jury is out. Anyways, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. I love this pose that Ryunosuke's doing. That's so
Yeah.
wonderful. Now, if we take that as a fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime.
Oh no, could there be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased body will prove the cause of death conclusively, but I'm fucking wrong again.
Cosmo died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something, or someone.
Yes, that's a distinct possibility. As of yet, no weapon has been found, though.
Presumably Darka didn't silently creep up on Cosmo and deal him a fatal blow.
I suppose it's possible that he had a fall and hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident.
But the Russian...
Oh, yeah, a bad fall could explain it.
It's rather hard to believe of Kazuma-sama, though. He wasn't a clumsy man.
Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened?
Yes. Yes, there is, I think. That skid on the ground, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey Nick, if we get this wrong enough times, he's not gonna like kick us off the ship or anything.
No,
or
just
give
fucking,
us a
he'll make
game
fun
over.
of you. He'll call you a poopy butthead.
Oh, nice.
Call me a poopy bud.
You won't. Oh, you won't.
Yes, an examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively.
This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is a deposit of shoe polish.
Shoe polish?
Indeed, positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. It's a fart gun.
He licked it.
Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results, the undeniable ingredients of shoe polish.
And the color of that polish is a perfect match for the color of Mr. Asogi's laced leather shoes. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asogi must have got his foot at that point on the floor and tripped.
Please, no.
And by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life.
No!
Okay, but the Russian!
Hostanaga.
I don't know. I don't know anything about this.
Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Asogi lost his life?
Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. Did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now your involuntary glances betray the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case, but I'm fucking wrong again.
I don't believe it. Asma, someone merely tripped over and now he's no more? It can't be true. I refuse to accept it.
I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened.
But
And if this part of Mr. Schomes' deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction she just cast her eyes.
where, I wonder?
Let's have a look.
And a book. Reading fucking Rainbow.
There's a waste paper basket. Perhaps it was all the first-class cabins have them.
But Miss Pavlova only started occupying this cabin late last night. Presumably there's not too much rubbish in there yet.
Ah,
Oh, what's that?
It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I feel like I've seen it somewhere before.
If it looks familiar, perhaps it's more than your mind simply playing tricks on you.
yeah, let me,
Can we take it out?
it's right there. Hello, Joey.
He hid the evidence in what? That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in the waste paper basket.
Ah,
Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object, it would seem, one that has a familiar air effect.
Precisely, we found another piece of broken glass on the room in Mr. Asogi's cabin. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly.
oh no.
So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of this glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in this waste paper basket in your cabin?
Ah!
You're well acquainted with this glass bell, are you not?
I don't...
I don't know when that hushed Russian accent of yours won't save you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question.
What?
Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova to the little glass bell, that would be...
The fact that we just found it in her fucking waste paper basket? Hello?
But
Oh
more than that.
no!
Examine.
There it is.
Who gives their cat a fucking glass bell?
I didn't know cats
Ooh.
had eyelashes.
Oh, that is fucking... That is 10 out of 10 right there.
Oh yeah,
That's the good stuff.
that's the stuff.
If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from darkest color, the very glass bell in question.
The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall.
No, I get it. Her name is Pavlova, and there's a bell that connects. Gotcha.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Funny, funny.
Very
And the
good.
cause of that fateful stumble. Stuff.
Thank you.
Your absent feline friend, Darka. Okay, but like...
I can't believe a cat killed my boyfriend.
Okay, wait, now hang on.
Alright, alright.
I'm not convinced,
Uh-huh.
because then there would have been no reason for them showing us the ship with the ship shifting
Uh-huh.
and it unlocking the door, the fact that the logs were blank, and the fucking Russian that he wrote before he died. There is still, like, a lot that doesn't add up. So I'm
Right.
not convinced that this kitty killed him.
It's a catastrophe! I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry.
Also, what the fuck is up with this snake?
Yep, that's the real question here. What the fuck is up with the snake? Elementary!
Elementary. Deduction complete.
Ain't it great, Joey?
Did you kill him? Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? Tell us exactly what happened last night.
It was a little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, but I hadn't had time to feed Darka, so I gave her some food. And then, all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands.
People say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments.
She was so fast, she disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her.
That's how you acquired the rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it?
Yes. And I had read the, rules on the wall. I knew I was not allowed to bring Darka with me.
Yeah, modern science suggests that animals carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really.
So I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. It was very quiet. I was sure, if someone was there, he must be sleeping.
But at that point, you thought it safe to try to lure the kitten back again? By dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the adjoining cabin?
Darka always loved this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy, I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing. It didn't return.
The faint whistling sound Cosmo wrote about in his diary was Miss Pavlova trying to retrieve her pet.
Cats have a propensity to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened.
Yes, but there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she had calmed down. But then...
Oh.
I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out and then... Oh, it was such a dreadful bang! Then afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent.
Cosmo was...
From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass bell and tripping up. Yes, as Boya was a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. Mr. Sogi was already off balance as a result of the ship lurching when the kitten got under his feet. The combination of unfortunate factors could have easily caused him to fall over. But what became of the kitten afterwards?
In the end, I managed to get her to come back through the ventilator. Yet Darka is nowhere to be seen. I must have forgotten to lock my case. And now she's disappeared again.
Gracious, that cat is as insufferably restless as I am.
Well, he knows something about himself at least.
When I woke this morning, I heard that a young man in the cabin next to mine had died. But I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back.
Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake?
You're right, where is it? If the snake isn't your friend Miss Pavlova, then who is it? Where did it come from?
What on
Oh
earth-
my god!
What on earth is such a dangerous creature doing on board this ship? Oh, it didn't say? Snake is my friend. His name is Pidroko.
Hmm?
What?
Snake belongs to you?
He escaped from cage when emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I did not expect to find him in here. Yes, how did that snake get into this cabin?
But animals are not permitted on board.
Ah, we are at sea for 1 year. You want to be so long without close friend, without someone who understands? Couldn't you find someone a little more human, who understands you better?
But my dear burly fellow, a gargantuan venomous snake? Surely you can't appreciate the danger you're putting everyone in.
No venom. The Jericho does not have venom. He is harmless, very long, and very gentle. He is adorable, like Granny.
It's venomless?
Yes. Now he is hungry, so he is in bad mood, but once I feed him, you will see big smile. And you feed him what? Milk, I suppose? Ah, like they say milk chickens? Ridiculous. Snake that drink milk are only in stupid stories. Pizarco eats mouses. Big fat round mouses. Ah, that's is that what the mousetrap in the passageway out there is for? Of course. How else can I catch my friend's favorite food? Nothing says top of the food chain like the look in their eyes right now.
It refuses to drink milk, it can't hear a whistle, it can't climb up a bell cord, and it's not even venomous.
And I just looked up the meaning, the little thing behind its name.
Uh-huh.
It's a food.
Pizarco, like a Russian food?
Pirotsky.
Pirotsky?
Pirotsky.
Huh. Delicious.
Pirotsky is a Russian and Hungarian baked or fried yeast live in boat-shaped buns with a variety of fillings.
Oh.
Neat. Sorry if I missed any lines while I was doing my Google searching.
No, you didn't.
Oh, you're fine.
Good.
I don't think so, at least.
Oh, it's. I was like, what's under here? It's the little toys. How the deuce did something so inept land a starring role?
It's not my fault. I do not make up stories. My Pirozko has nothing to do with this incident. So that's what happened? That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death?
Miss Pavlova, I understand the difficult situation you found yourself in, and I do sympathize. But please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then no matter the circumstances, I cannot forgive you.
Get him.
But
What are you talking about, Miss Mikatoba? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. It was just a series of unfortunate events. An accident.
I'm no great detective like Mr. Schomes. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. But even I can see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo?
To be perfectly honest, yeah. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story. I'm sure of it. I just can't quite put my finger on it.
I confess, I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter.
Oh?
I am only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is, you, Mr. Naruhodo, are simply a distraction.
A distraction?
I do hope you've not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable.
Ah, not again. When did he do that?
Especially as they're on your wrists as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port call.
You were Mr. Schomes?
Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours. Was he not?
Yes.
You could say that.
Kazuma was my closest friend. I owed him my freedom, even.
In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, whatever that may be. The key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story. Sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear.
No!
The truth about how you really died. That fiend in your cabin came to be. Alright, I'll see what I can do.
Excellent.
Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo.
Shall we begin?
Yes.
What we should ponder first is the orb in this room, and the victim who lost his life in the cabin that was bolted shut from the outside. Was this truly an unfortunate accident, or was it in fact no accident at all? That is what we must establish in the first instance.
We've already established it, haven't we? Man tripped over the kitten and it climbed into his cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but an accident.
Wait, let's take a step back. That doesn't make sense if that's what really happened, does it?
I'm gonna have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's starting to take shape now. There's a clear contradiction between the facts in Miss Pavlova's story here. The evidence is right there in Kazuma's cabin, it's undeniable. His death couldn't have possibly been a mere accident.
Really?
Well, show our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Time to present the evidence. That would be a photo with the writing? That's my immediate thought.
Krista, what do you think?
I would also think that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The truth is clearly recorded in this photograph. There's no way Mr. Asogi could have left his message on the floor.
That script, it's Russian, isn't it?
Indeed it is. The word written means wardrobe.
I see what you mean, most people would have left a dyed message in their native language. Japanese in this case.
But maybe he was studying Russian. It was a simple language. He could have picked it up very fast.
That doesn't seem likely. It's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether he knew Russian or not.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said before. There is no way that Mr. Asogi could have left this message on the floor. And the reason why is clearly explained in here.
Death was instant.
Damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death. Instant death. Which means, after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't possibly have written anything. Because he was already dead.
That's not the only reason either. There's something else we found in Mr. Asogi's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't have possibly been there if what Miss Pavlova told us were true.
What?
So, Sasada-san has noticed it too then. Putting this message on the floor aside, there's something else that gives away the truth. Another piece of evidence that proves this was no accident. In other words,
Would it be the fact that the bell was cleaned up? Question mark?
That's true, yeah. I kind of just assumed that the cat brought it back like an idiot, but
it was taken.
yeah.
That wasn't an accident?
wouldn't be the fact that she was whistling.
I think you're on the right track.
I will try to show.
Hey.
Nope. You're fucking dumb.
You see nothing.
I'll throw you off this boat.
Wow, that was embarrassing.
In the absence of something you would expect to find at the scene of an accident, or the presence of something you wouldn't.
Ah, see.
Confess you're rather languid, I see, doesn't fill me with much confidence.
Damn. I believe in you. Let's try again.
And I think you were probably right.
Hey.
Nice.
Let's go.
This piece of broken glass next to the mark on the floor.
The glass fell and the kitten had to be let. We already knew all about that. It was broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. We already have a satisfactory explanation with the flaw in that logic.
Unfortunately, there's a very, very big flaw. A fatal one, even.
What?
If that's really what happened, how did one half of the bell end up back here in this cabin?
Yes, remember that we found the other half of the glass bell in the waste paper basket. Would you care to explain that, Miss Pavlova? Oh no.
Both these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. If Mr. Asogi died last night in his cabin, there's someone else in the room. And that same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth in order to cover up his or her own guilt.
Yes, there was someone else present, and Mr. Asogi's...
You're wasting time. Was there? Duh, of course, we know this. What are you talking about? Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There was no way in or out.
Yeah.
And only one other person in cabin when your student died was you. True, I was in the cabin when it happened.
We're shut inside the cabin wardrobe to be precise about the details.
But I didn't know Russian. There's no way I could have left that message.
Not would have, there's no way you could have left that message to be precise about the details, because it was sealed.
Would you mind?
Forgive me, my dear fellow.
As I was saying, the person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor. In an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been asleep in there the entire time.
And then the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen to the floor, for fear of becoming evidence that it would show how Mr. Asogi really died.
But why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell away? Even half behind was always going to raise questions.
Yes, well,
It was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. The single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would barely have cast any light onto the floor there. Little wonder then that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of the tiny item.
You all suspect me, don't you?
Seaman Stroganov. Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skills and she went to join ballet company. But before, she was dancer on the ship, a member of ship's band. You do not accuse ship's angel of being criminal. Ah, so that's it. You say that when young student died, Nina was there in his cabin? But that is not possible. I give my tooth.
Ooh, he gives his tooth.
Well, this is almost interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure?
You're a great detective, you should know. Look truth in eye. Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go into cabin, not Nina, not anyone. Or you want to teach me that killer can walk through locked doors? Yeah, it's impossible. He's right.
But wait, I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie thread around door latches so they can open and close them from the outside.
Fred, are you stupid? These bulkheads are not barn door.
Certainly not. These are watertight doors as one would expect to find on any modern steamship. Constructed of heavy steel with not a gap in sight, no threads or needles or magnets could have been used.
But Mr. Naruhodo suggested it earlier, so...
Sato-san, how can you shoot that into me like that?
The thing is, Stroganoff, valid point, the cabin door couldn't have bolted been shut from the outside.
Not necessarily.
What?
I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. And in this very cabin, we could see the traces of the method I have in mind have been used before.
I don't believe it.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe you know what I mean, don't you?
A way to shut the bolt of the cabin door from the outside? One way does spring to mind, yes.
Do you really know what Mr. Schomes means, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, and so should you. Because we've seen it happen.
Indeed we have. So, would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo? Does that mean when that fucking happened earlier, he was already clung to the fucking walls and just stood there when the ship, like, shifted? That's incredible. The telling signs of the method, the telling signs... That would be the shelf.
Yeah.
But there's no, like...
There's no prompt when it does this.
Right, there we go.
Look at the bookcase there. See how all the books and things on it have toppled over?
That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before.
Yeah, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel after all. When the engines have flown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that unfasten down are bound to fall over.
I believe, yes, this was known as the force of inertia acting on the objects.
Is there nothing Susato-san doesn't already know? Or that isn't in her book, at least? Well, whatever it's called, the same force that pushed over those books on the bookcase also made something else in this cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door.
Ah,
It was very obvious just after the emergency stop that the ship made earlier. We had come into this cabin not long before and we hadn't bolted the door. But then... Yeah, flashback.
oh yes. That's it. When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door.
Yes, it's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. Or the force of inertia. Ineptia, if you want to call it that.
Are you trying to say the last night, after Mr. Sogi was killed? Yes, before you made an emergency stop.
When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All of the books on the shelves had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over.
Oh yes, I remember that. And I stood them all up again, didn't I?
Then when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All of the books and everything had toppled over, just like in Mr. Asogi's cabin.
Oh my.
Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova? Are you out of your mind? You say Burya made emergency stop?
A little far-fetched. How could you possibly? How could that possibly happen? Let's just say the culprit is actually someone from the engine room.
Oh, it is simple enough. You forgetting the button in the passageway outside used to trigger the emergency alarm?
Oh yes, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there, telling you to only press the button in times of emergency.
On dark nights when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of his lookout alone. Hence the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity.
Wait, it was you?
When the button's pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings and the vessel comes to a complete stop. How fucking stupid.
Oh my god. You are a grown man, I think.
34 years old.
34 years old.
As indeed it did a little earlier today.
Mr. Schomes. Surely it wasn't you who...
I always say a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed, whatever the occasion. That's gonna fucking kill you one day.
And I aim to press every person's button.
He sounds almost proud of himself. How dare you mess with ship? I report you to Captain. You are in much trouble now.
Now, I'm sure all that can wait until later. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learnt a valuable lesson. The vessel makes an emergency stop. The cabin doors slide closed. So, what we must now consider...
Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asogi, did the ship make an emergency stop or did it not?
You're idiots. Burya is huge ship with many passengers. If we make emergency stop, even in middle of night, there would be chaos everywhere.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruhodo?
I think we have a piece of evidence that we need to look at.
Whoa!
Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea.
Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruhodo?
Fascinating. Do show us, my good man.
What evidence promotes the theory that some emergency gripped the vessel last night?
I feel like it's that. I can't think of anything else.
Yup. I second that.
Damn.
Seaman Stroganov. It's your duty to patrol the first-class cabin of the ship, is that right? Ah, that is correct. But in the ship's log here, this would be your record of the details of your duties? What are you doing with that? That is mine!
Ah, you rather carelessly left it atop the little makeshift burrow in the passageway out there. As responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind to return it to you later.
I left it there on purpose. That is where I always put it. The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances you write the phrase "nothing to report" every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, there was nothing recorded at all.
Nothing recorded in the log?
That is... because nothing happened. But if nothing happened, you would normally write "nothing to report," wouldn't you?
Indeed so, which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something happened. Here aboard the SS Burya. Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact.
Are you suggesting that the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night?
Stop talking rubbish!
If I'm perfectly honest, I find that a little hard to believe myself.
Oh, why?
Well, because if someone as major as an emergency stop really happened last night, surely all of us would have noticed.
Everyone's got a headache.
That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anyone would sleep through that, even if it happened in the dead of night.
Well, no. That's a good point.
What of the throbbing? Wait,
Sorry. What do you mean?
Sir, there are people around.
your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered with it. God, I'm childish.
Oh, yeah. I have a headache. You're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today.
Nor have I. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn.
Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected.
He's right, my head's been throbbing today too. And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. Then the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe. And those handcuffs put me... I didn't wake up when all that was happening.
Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, you boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you?
Oh, well, yeah. Sorry.
Stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on?
No, when Kazuma looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals.
So you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it?
Yes, in fact, I ate all of that. Kazuma wasn't fond of chicken.
Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all?
Right, he didn't touch it. Is that relevant?
My dear fellow, does that not strike you?
Oh, Mr. Schomes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken?
I do.
No, really? Is that really true?
The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of a sulfuric designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it.
Sleeping drug?
Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one would notice the ship's emergency stop?
Mr. Naruhodo, of course that's not what he means. What a far-fetched idea.
Precisely. Placing every meal of every passenger on board with a sulfuric drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator.
What?
Mr. Schomes!
Well, Seaman,
Eh?
I'm sorry to say that any more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. If you refuse to talk, there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew and the captain himself would be hauled over the coals. For aiding and abetting a renegade.
Please, no more. I will tell everything. I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore.
These crew are your former comrades, I believe.
Yes. So when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me.
We all agreed to help, everyone together. He threw away everything, her fame in ballet, Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel.
I don't believe it.
You are right. We put sleeping drug in chicken last night.
Inside the chicken.
Yeah, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. Duh, we would not make all drug, how you say, dissolve? Ugh, talk about heavy seasoning. At midnight in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by a comrade on shore with small fishing boat.
All the passengers of the SS Burya slept soundly. Thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals had contained.
So, if that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who dislike chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Kazuma's door.
Makes sense. Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and it'd have been complete chaos.
Oh, I wouldn't say so.
But
Ah, of course, just like us, all of the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins. After which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug.
Quite, and accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night.
Yes.
Overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyways, and so not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of a single cabin door on the ship, a culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning.
You have talked long enough and said many things. What is the point?
The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who had left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragment of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night.
What?
But I don't know about any of this. I am just a little girl.
You like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. Well, I am sailor, and sailors don't listen to long, boring story. We don't believe. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes.
A laudable trait.
What?
I am quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo,
Oh? Yeah?
do you hear it? That accusatory cry of guilt on the wind?
What accusatory cry of guilt?
Sorry, you've lost me.
Proof of involvement, man, but you can't hear such a call with your ears. No. You must hear it with your eyes, for observation is the basis of all deduction.
What are you talking about?
I believe the time has come for one final logic and reasoning spectacular to expose the truth. Mr. Naruhodo, your assistance, if you please.
With what exactly, Mr. Schomes?
With observation, my dear fellow, just as I said of these two prevaricators.
Observation?
If you remember, Mr. Naruhodo, we all know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? By tampering with the scene of Mr. Asogi's death. What we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these two were there when it happened.
Precisely, you are delightfully quick to grasp my meaning.
Alright, I'll see what I can see. We're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Kazuma died.
Chunky arms.
Oh!
Oh, that was easy.
They're your butt.
If only you had a jacket.
Steven Stroganov. You seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Yes, I don't know where the dirt come from.
I shit my pants. So nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain.
What are you trying to say?
It would appear that the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain.
It's a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman's uniform.
And I think what made it is clear.
Indeed it is. So, Mr. Norohodo, present the evidence.
My pleasure. Alright, then the evidence that proves the stain on the back of the uniform really is...
Ba-ba-da-da.
I don't just have, like, the ink, do I? No.
Use something with ink.
Yeah?
That? The picture of the ink on the floor?
Inky inky.
Stinky inky.
Stinky inky indeed.
Yes, it's this photograph. The ink it shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink?
A rather unusual color of ink, purple.
Ah!
Ah, the penny drops at last. Now you see the significance.
The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color.
The ink had been dry, couldn't have possibly stained your uniform in that way, which means... you must have been present in the cabin moments immediately after the ink was spilt.
Alright, yes. It was me. I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in Dead Student's cabin to make it look like Wardrobe Man did it. Then I pressed button to make burial do emergency stop and bolt cabin door shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our angel.
Yeah, please.
Do not worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in morning. I was on duty patrolling passageway. When our angel came to me, she was white like sheet.
Biff, please, you must help me.
I went with her, and door to cabin number 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw student boy on floor. What happened here?
Please, don't tell anyone. My little one. My little furry friend.
Everything that happened in cabin is like Angel told you. Ethan helped escape through the ventilator into Mr. Asogi's cabin, and then he tripped over it and he broke his neck and fell on the floor. Yes, that is right.
Damn it, I wanted him to be murdered in some interesting way.
But no, our boyfriend was taken away by an accident involving a cat.
So the incident when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlov visited the cabin next to hers.
We'll find a document lying lifeless on the floor.
She said she was worried when she heard sound of door, something falling on floor. She went to go look. No, Angel? The door was not locked. She opened to look, and you already know what happened after that.
There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind.
What?
When you went to Mr. Sogi's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Why?
I already told you. When Nina opened door of student's cabin and I looked inside.
I'm asking Miss Pavlova.
Oh no.
Well, Miss Pavlova?
Duh. Oh. Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark, and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand, and I believe you.
Was that finally it now? You discovered the real truth about Cosmo's death at last?
No!
Something has very nearly slipped my mind.
Oh, Mr. Schomes?
This photograph.
It makes me laugh.
Yes! I took this myself, you know. Cause of death was a broken neck, therefore the victim died instantly. Unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there was one particular area in this photograph that seems to me somewhat unnatural. What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, well. Cosmo tripped and fell, then by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck. Which part of this photographic print seems unnatural?
His headband, I bet.
Oh, what is this drift?
He is not smiling? That seems pretty
That's it.
pretty funky. What else could it be?
I'm gonna go for the headband.
Perfect.
Yeah! Alright, if he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then his fist just doesn't seem quite right. You clicked the right spot, but it wasn't what you were thinking.
Huh.
What?
The same thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. But here we see the victim with his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say, as though he were gripping something like a dick.
What mean?
Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago.
You did?
What, pray, do you imagine I found there, my dear fellows?
A ring. My wedding ring for me. Mr. Schomes, show us, please.
Why, of course, my dear madam. Would I keep you in suspense?
You are.
Oh, shit. No, that he really did get fucking moited. Oh,
Oh,
bittersweet.
no.
Man,
Oh no.
this is what I found.
Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle?
Yeah, you're right. A crescent moon. It's very pretty. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us?
It shows nothing. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks familiar somehow. I think I've seen it somewhere before.
Observation, Mr. Naruhodo, that is the key.
What?
The truth is now tantalizingly close.
How did that crescent moon come to be in Cosmo's clenched fist?
The final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe. Find the answer with your own eyes. Hee.
Hoo-hoo.
Miss Pavlova, I noticed that on your ear, even though you have a metal earring, the decorative part of it seems to be missing. The little link holding on it must have broken, I suppose. Eh? What? But looking at your other ear, I noticed a crescent moon. I don't believe it!
Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fists. Clearly, there is only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes. Miss Pavlova, Mr. Asogi must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear, perhaps just moments before he fell to the floor. In other words, last night in Mr. Asogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him.
Did they just spook him? And then the cat? Oh no!
But the question is, why did Mr. Asogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments?
Oh no.
Angel?
Are they smooching?
No one can protect you now.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't cheat on me with this beautiful, well-known
Famous
ballet.
Russian rich.
Yeah.
Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. What did you do to Kazuma?
When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it was too much. running away, the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship. And then, when I was at last in its cabin and I could relax after this horrible, long day. Darka, wait! I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waking her favorite toy. But nothing worked. Darka would not come back. Plunk.
Spectre. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine.
He was so beautiful. I had to kill him. The young man from your country, he was very polite and kind. He helped me find Darka. He promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friend in my arms again and I was going to leave the man's cabin.
Just a moment, sorry, but... Ma'am, your boobies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. His nose did the...
The switch.
Of course, you're Nikolita Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina?
Huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land in the faraway east know a Russian ballerina?
Yes, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of that ballet made a deep impression on me. What are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment.
What? Hello. Wait. Navi is attacking the sleeping Joey, question mark? Is that what you're doing?
Oh, they're fighting Navi!
Navi, you literally just, like, woke Joey up
So, okay,
and pounded his face.
for context, Navi came over here like 30 minutes ago and cuddled next to me in the most adorable way possible.
I had Navi on my left and Joey on my right.
I was, like, petting her as she, like... She wanted his spot. Holy shit. She just sat down where he was. Navi just stole Joey's spot.
But Navi just got up.
Yeah, she instantly just stood
Completely
up.
unprovoked.
She was basically asleep, stood up, and started attacking Joey, who was also asleep.
Poor Joey.
I'm sorry, Joe.
I have to tell him the truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice.
I see. So you run away.
Please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone.
Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. Let me wake up my closeted friend.
How do you spell? Oh. He's going to pull the cord. He's going to tell the captain. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait! I shouted, and then... Darka jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. And... as he turned around to look at me...
Ow.
I pushed him. Bitch. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me.
And that's when you went to fetch help from Seaman Stroganov, who is on duty out in the passageway. I heard Nina cry out and thud on floor, so I ran to her. She was standing at cabin door shaking like leaf. She looked at me and said, "Help me, Biff. If they find out, I will be Please, I have nowhere to go. So you decided to help. And that's when you arranged things in Cosmo's cabin to make it look like I did it. So that no one would suspect the passenger in the cabin next door. I went into cabin and looked around to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And when I found Stowaway, in wardrobe, still sleeping, right, that's when he found me.
So you worked out a plan. Lay the blame on the stowaway.
I closed wardrobe door and put strange paper back. Luckily for me, that's the only reason Susato-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent. I dragged young man's body to a good place and used ink that was spilling on floor to write. I wrote, Yaklef, so that the person who found him would look inside wardrobe and find Stowaway.
And what of the glass bell?
It was by my feet, so I picked it up.
I see.
But it was dark in the cabin. I didn't notice the other half.
Then Angel went back to her cabin and I finished the job by pressing emergency alarm button in passageway. Yes. Nice impression.
Accordingly, the SS Buria did indeed come to an emergency halt at a little after 2 a.m., thus enticing the bolt on the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery.
There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova.
What?
Well, you said you told Kazuma about the fact that you'd run away from your homeland. And it's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right?
Yes?
But even if he had pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem?
It was what he said first that made me scared.
What he said first?
Inspector.
I miss him.
So much.
He said an inspector was his friend.
Oh yeah, me. Who's supposed to be acting as his bodyguard?
I thought if police knew about me, they would arrest me. So before he could pull the bell cord, May I stop you a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Asoki really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. What?
Closet.
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well?
I'm not Kazuma, so I don't know for certain, but he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done it.
No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There's one more deduction to make.
Oh my god.
What? Another deduction?
What action was the victim really about to take in that moment? I'm fucking crying.
Yeah, honestly. My heart.
Can we determine whether the young man's gaze was directed? Oh, his gaze was directed, alright.
Oh. And now his case can't direct at all.
First consider the victim's location within his cabin.
That's easy. I remember every detail of that room. I mean, I spent a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still.
But still, we made love on every object in there.
That cabin's been my entire voyage.
So this is how the cabin looked last night when Miss Pavlova visited Kazuma-sama?
Yeah, it's exactly how it was.
Are you ready then, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes. There's one thing I learned today. A simple gaze can reveal all manner of truths.
Simple gaze reveal all manner of things.
And not only that, but in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out by even a little bit when you're unfollowing the gaze to where it lands. So when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Cosmo looking at? Now before you select the right answer, check the bed.
But
Present the bed.
bounces off.
Cosmo had placed a large book of law underneath his pillow.
What?
I believe he was going to consult that book in order to find a way to help you. Although I'm not quite sure how Japanese law would have been relevant, but still.
Mr. Naruhodo, the truth is absolute. You cannot see someone look one way but follow their gaze another.
Sorry. I had a feeling I was wrong.
From where I'm standing, it was quite wrong. You appear to be out by a fair margin. Actually, no. You were out by a mile.
Sorry.
Thought it was gonna be some shit like he was trying to seduce you into bed. Oh, this wasn't repeat dialogue.
It's fine.
I could use another opinion here.
Whose opinion was he hoping for? I sure ought to know.
What was he looking at? Sus.
Considering everything that had happened last night, certainly it may have looked as though Cosmo was going to ring the bell cord.
Yes, however, what is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe. And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? His lover! The man's great boyfriend sleeping soundly.
Miss Pavlova, please think back very carefully. What were Mr. Asogi's exact words last night?
Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here.
Another opinion. But not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Asogi intended to consult his boyfriend on the matter. To see if, between them, they might be able to help in some way, no doubt.
Oh no. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you had made sure of what Mr. Asogi was looking at. Things may have ended very differently if you had.
Miss Pavlova, I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did, and that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that.
I'm sorry. Really, I'm so sorry. Are you biting your nails, Nicholas?
Almost.
What have I done?
And so, at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the Buria was finally laid to rest.
You know, ever since Navi knocked Joey out of that spot, he's just been staring at the wall over there. He's not even laying down.
He's like, did I really just get bullied?
And she's still there, too.
He's like, they're not even gonna do anything about it.
Punish her! What will happen to Miss Pavlova now, then?
Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard.
What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to repatriate her?
The English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort all that out.
Mr. Schomes can do that? So she won't be going back to Russia, then?
No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life.
Gotta imagine if it was that easy nowadays.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I'm sorry. Demon Stroganoff? I wanted to help our angel, no matter what. But I didn't think about you, about how you lost good friend. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police. It's kind of you. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Must death feel like such a waste, but...
There is no but.
Yeah, there's no but there.
Well, do what you can from this pop bottle, won't you? So,
Ready to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm gonna have to hand you over to the consul to arrange your passage back to Japan.
Fuck no.
yeah,
Hell no.
I did stow away after all. I couldn't really expect any different.
So, you should get back to your cabin now.
I'm glad your black eye and glasses have healed.
Yeah.
He rubbed some cheese on it. It looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it's even begun, then. I think that only days ago, Cosmo and I were laughing about how we'd go tear up the streets of London. That seems like a distant memory now.
Where's the sword?
Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping?
Oh.
It's me.
Oh no, she's holding the sword!
Susada-san?
Kiss!
It's the sword.
Kiss the sword!
Naruhodo-san, I didn't know you had returned.
I hadn't been back long. Inspector Hostanaga told me I should pack. You know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that.
Oh.
No! I still can't believe this has happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over just like that.
Susada.
New school. He had such grand ideas for this visit to Great Britain, so many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away, just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible. But now we know the truth. That it was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much, Naruhodo-san. It's just too much.
I know.
I wish there was something I could say.
Inspector.
My duty was to see Asogi sad safely to Great Britain. But I failed. It cost us close friends and suffer as a result. Oh shit, I knocked over the monster energy. I've let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder.
Nobody blames you, Inspector. And I'm free again. What?
Surprise, Mr. Naruhodo?
What is the meaning of this?
With my stand! What trifling matter. Simply that in my head I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting.
Sorry?
So I decided to restore them, for old time's sake, shall we say? You are a stowaway after all.
He thinks this is funny?
Mr. Schomes. We do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Not at all, not at all. And though it's a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences. The loss of your companion is truly heartrending, which I can't imagine as my companion is alive right now. Somewhere across the sea. Oh shit, I knocked it over again. I hope that you will be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened.
What? Wait a minute. It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was the stowaway.
The terms of this study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be 1 lawyer and 1 assistant.
Was to be?
In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead.
Oh no. I don't care for me, but... Poor Susato.
My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know.
We're going to steal his identity!
It requires 1 lawyer and the study tour can continue, surely.
But there is no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Schomes. We know of no other lawyer.
Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid.
Oh, but...
But anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer.
Yes.
Susato?
Yeah?
Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it?
You're not a lawyer, Mr. Nahodo. Oh, unless... Are you studying law?
No, I'm not, but...
God damn it.
I'm sorry, in that case, I don't think there's even a chance it could work.
But as I said, there's still more than a month before we reach England's shores. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, I have a month in which to study to learn what I must become a lawyer in Great Britain.
Mr. Naruhodo.
That's ridiculous. Are you seriously suggesting you could learn all that in just 40 days?
There's only one way to find out. I would work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if by the time we reach Great Britain I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate.
Why put yourself in such a difficult position?
Or Kazuma. He said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, if it's for my own benefit too. I will become a lawyer. I have to.
An ace attorney, if you will.
What do you say, Miss Susato?
Aww.
I think it's a wonderful idea.
Thank you.
What does our bespectacled inspector friends say?
Are you serious?
1 lawyer and 1 assistant. The numbers are indisputable.
No, it's madness.
Yet fascinating, wouldn't you agree?
Fascinating.
I love that he still does the default, like, waiter pose.
Yeah.
Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest, give us fascination.
Think for yourself.
Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character, no?
No.
No.
You witness ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes, from the early hours of this morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage.
Oh my god, you're right.
Very well. I'll think of a clever way to win my report to the Department of Justice.
Inspector.
After all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said I'd do anything to make it up for my shortcomings here.
Oh, thank you, Inspector.
Yikes. Excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I need to discuss what to do and how to best make my report.
Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, I'm going to try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer?
I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant after all.
Cute.
Thank you.
I love her.
Yeah, Susato MVP.
Yeah.
And Mr. Naruhodo,
Kill you.
I'd like you to take charge of this!
I'm not ready! It's me lawyer and sword.
Are you sure?
I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted.
It's got his fucking head back!
It's a great sword that's been in the Asogi clan for generations!
God damn it.
Very well, I accept. I'll treasure it always.
I'm not okay.
So then, Miss Susato, things will be working together for some time to come.
It will be an honor, Mr. Naruhodo. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom.
Eh.
You shall fill every spare moment with study.
Yes, that's exactly what I need.
But before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you two.
Goodness. Whatever could it be?
Please throw me to the ground. 3 times!
I mean...
What?
I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course you would never have done those things to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. And no matter how upset I was feeling, it was all completely unforgivable behavior.
No, you were in shock. You just found out about me stowing away. And the cabin door was locked. No.
No, I won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you. And not just once, but 5 times.
The number keeps creeping up, doesn't it?
Please, you must. Just take hold of me and throw me. Do it. Don't even think about it.
Throw her onto the bed.
No, I don't know about that. I've never thrown anyone in my life.
Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. It isn't a skill one requires without considerable training.
Oh, Mr. Schomes.
I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confessed I was most impressed.
When did he see that?
Presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling?
Oh, well, in a way. It's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jujutsu technique.
Apparently it's called the Susato Takedown. It leaves your head swimming, believe me.
How beguiling. I'm a practitioner of the combative arts myself. I'm a somewhat accomplished
I'm
boxer.
gonna punch her in the face.
There he
Whoa,
goes.
wait.
Dancing
Whoa.
around.
Oh.
If you'd be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your arresting throw.
Yes, I'd be honored.
Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam.
Your finger is smelly. Alrighty.
Oh no.
Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo?
Sorry?
Hi.
Right after apologizing.
As you can see, you throw from the abdomen.
Oh yes, arresting indeed. And what is that you termed the Susato takedown, is it?
Actually, no. That was a Susato squash.
Damn.
Got him.
In my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Cosmo.
No, I
flickered into my
knew
mind.
they were gonna do some shit like this.
Oh. Gotta make it sting. Karma?
That's right, it's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan.
I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking a katana on a study tour is more than a little irregular, surely.
The Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana.
And now we have his soul!
Karma guides me, I truly believe that. Now it guides you.
So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need to do much compelling.
On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me.
Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to you with the end. To the end.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
That important thing he had to do. I still don't know what that was. But I'm gonna see the place for myself and work it out. Great Britain's capital, London.
Ryunosuke, I'm gonna poop off the side of London Bridge.
Do it! It'll be hilarious!
It's gonna fall down.
I'm gonna poop too, Kazuma!
Also, I would just like to say for the stream that Navi totally has a nice blep going on.
Oh. Oh, that is a little bit of a blip, isn't it?
Oh my god. You shouldn't be allowed to be this cute.
Alright, this was a good stream.
This is great.
You calling it there?
I believe I am.
Should.
Yeah. Oh, the next one opens with a little cutscene if you want to watch the cutscene. But you can save it for next time if you want. Just run it out there.
I want to save it for next time.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it for next
Okay,
time.
leave a little stinger in there.
Yeah.
So you know when they kill Susato-san off the start of the next fucking one.
Yep.
I can't believe they've killed Susato.
Oh my god.
No, no.
Yeah, that went well.
Yep.
Thanks for watching, people. You know, you like what you see, you can hit that follow button.
For more Satoni adventures. Yeah. Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Happy New Year.
Happy New